Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Hello, hello. So excited to be back. This week, we are busting detox myths all day long, people. So why is everyone telling us we need to detox? We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about all the myths, and we're going to talk about what actually works, and maybe take a few questions from the community. So first of all, let's just take a second, Larissa, if you'll just bear with me, to talk about what we're actually talking about when we say detox, right? Because why is everybody trying to sell us? Yeah, like why is everybody trying to sell all these crazy detox methods and cleanses and all these sorts of things? Well, it's because there are tons of toxins in our environment, sometimes in our diet, all around us, right? That we're constantly having to filter. And so what you would technically call them as toxins are harmful substances. We're talking about like heavy metals, lead, mercury, chemicals from pollution, plastics, which we would call, I had to look this up, endocrine disruptors, learning so many things, or byproducts from normal metabolism, which for women can include our hormone fluctuations, right? We've got to process that in our body. And so what these things can do in our body is they create oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is an imbalance in your body between the production of free radicals, which are like highly reactive molecules, and then your body's ability to neutralize them with antioxidants. So that's a word I recognized when I was researching this, right? Because we always talk about how berries are high in antioxidants, that sort of thing. Well, this is why it's important, ladies. It's because when those free radicals outnumber your antioxidants, then it starts to cause damage in your cells, like to your proteins, your fats, even your DNA, right? We're talking about damage to your body. So a great way to think about this is it's like rusting metal, right? Oxygen and iron equals rust. Well, in your body, uncontrolled oxidation rusts your cells. So
I love that visualization because I can see rust all over my body.
I know, right? I'm like, oh, I feel rusty. Like when I move, I'm like, I feel rusty.
Or it's like when your body's kind of like going out of whack, and different things, and you're just like, this is weird, and this is changing, and this is different. It's like you're just getting rusty in different spots, and it's because of all of the disruptors that is happening radicals that we don't even realize are happening. And so because it's like micro disruptors, where it's a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit there, and then all of a sudden it's a big effect.
Exactly. So the world out here is just trying to sell us all on the juice cleanses, the charcoal shots, all of the things, right, that are supposed to help our bodies detox or flush these toxins from our system, right? So let's jump into it. Let's talk about some of these myths. And the reason why we wanted to talk about this on our podcast is because a 2019 study showed that women are more likely to fall for wellness fads due to targeted marketing. Yet our bodies just need practical evidence-based support. So we were like, let's talk about it together.
Yeah, because I think we are victims to that. I know I've done like soup detoxes before in the past, and the cabbage soup diet, and like all these different things. And so it's like over the years, it's just changed, but it hits us every single time. And then every single year we try the new one, and we're like, oh, this is going to be different than the last 20 years. Let's try this.
This one will work for sure.
This will be totally different.
Oh, it's so true.
But in reality, what we're learning through all of this is you really goes back to the basics. And as much as you want to try to get like a quick fix, like pill or recipe or strategy, it's really just going back to the basics, which is what we'll talk about today. And so one of the myths that is often is juice cleanses, like that reset your body. So in January, there's all these things about this juice will detox you and it will clean you out and it will help you flush out all the toxins and reboot your system. And in reality, that is not true. And
Nope.
Research studies found that juice cleanses lack evidence for detox benefits and can spike your blood sugar while starving you of protein and fiber. So instead of getting what your body really needs is the protein and fiber, it's really raising your blood sugar and kind of getting your body completely out of whack. And for women, this can mess with your insulin sensitivity, and it can worsen your PMS and menopause symptoms, which due to the hormonal swings. So it's very important for us to not go down that path. And really, your liver just doesn't need more kale juice to detox.
Yeah.
It needs nutrients to power it, because there's 2 phases in your liver to detox and process it through. So you really need to stick with the basics and skip the juice cleanses. So the real hack is to support your liver, whole foods, and is it cruciferous? I always say this wrong.
Like cruciferous veggies are the key.
And this word keeps coming up and over again every time we do research on anything. So it's like broccoli and cauliflower and kale, like all these things will really help you boost your second stage of detoxing enzymes. And the study really says that like a daily smoothie with spinach and berries and a scoop of protein will stabilize your blood sugar while helping you detox. And that is what really you want to do.
Right. Well, and what the juice cleanse is missing is the fiber, right? You're taking, you're squeezing all the juice out of it and leaving the fiber behind, which is such a critical component for women specifically, right? And so it's kind of crazy when you do the research and you're like, duh, we need this. Instead, we're just taking the juice that spikes our blood sugar. Like, this makes zero sense. Having tried that before, but
Well, a couple of years ago, one of the fads was those blending machines, where you put in like spinach and berries and whatever. And that actually was very helpful. That was actually a great like trend that was popular, but 10 or 15 years ago. And so if people could actually go back to that would actually be more helpful than just a juice cleanse.
Yeah, like you want the components. But I mean, the big problem with this type of fad is that you really are going to have some nutrient deficiencies, right? Like protein's such a huge component in our diet and for supporting our body's natural detoxification pathways that's why we're saying no. Like, a lot of times when people feel better when they do these things, it's not because of the juice that they're drinking, but it's because of the lack of all the other junk food that they've cut out to do this cleanse, right? That's actually what's making them feel better. So
doing this research and reading like about how powerful the broccoli and kale and cauliflower is, that you should be eating that every single day. That ever since I've put in some type of vegetable in every single meal I made for my kids, like it's either in the soup, like I put kale in the soup, or like in the eggs, or tonight I made like what Mom used to make actually for us. Like I did grilled hamburger meat with zucchini, and I put red peppers, but then I put a bunch of kale in there, which I never would have done before because that was not in Mom's recipe. But I did add that in just so that it had that antioxidant, like detox veggie.
Yeah, I really do add them wherever I can. And then I find foods and things that already have vegetables in them, like they're hidden in them, or I like hide them in places just to get like extra ones that they don't know that they're getting, right? Because my kids are at that very young picky stage. So
that's where like the juicing really helps. Not juicing, but like the smoothie really helps, because you can put all sorts of stuff in there and disguise it with some honey and they'll drink it.
But you know what I do is I blend it up like that and I make it into like a pasta sauce. So they're getting all those vegetables, but instead of it being a drink, I put it over pasta and they love it. So
that's a great idea.
Veggies. Yeah. So there's so many ways to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not really detoxifying our bodies. We're talking about just overall nutrition.
Yeah. But it does help with detox though.
Yeah, those things help support our body's ability to do that, right? So, okay, myth number 2, charcoal drinks trap toxins, right? Because a lot of times if you have like poison control or something and you go into the hospital, like they use charcoal to kind of absorb some of that poison or whatever, right? That's a common thing that happens. But studies from 2020 have found no evidence that it detoxes the body like in a long-term sort of use. And so it can actually, in fact, interfere with nutrient absorption or medications. So that's not great for like women on birth control or like on thyroid meds. Like there's a lot of reasons why it can actually just kind of muck up your system. In addition, it can leave you constipated, which is honestly the opposite of a detox.
Literally.
Yeah.
You're keeping it all in there instead of getting it out naturally.
It's a big problem, right? Constipation is one of those things. It's something you don't want to have a problem with when you're trying to support your body in detoxifying. The activated charcoal lattes or the pills, those things that you would think would suck toxins up like a vacuum is actually going to create a lot of other problems. So instead, boost your gut health for a natural detox. And this is something that I didn't know. Like your gut microbiome actually is a very big player in eliminating those toxins. So eating fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi every day and then aiming for 25 to 30 grams of fiber, first of all, keeps things moving, right? We just talked about you want to stay regular, but it also sort of the fiber really feeds your gut microbiome, and then you're adding to your gut microbiome population with the fermented foods, right? Plus, fiber supports estrogen balance, and that can be key for PMS or even perimenopause.
I feel like this is, again, this is something that's been coming up a lot lately, and I'm really trying to do it because I love sauerkraut. So I'm like, that's easy. I'll eat like sauerkraut every day, but I don't do it. I'll do it maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, and then I'm like, oh, fermented food. So I got the kimchi, which I love kimchi, but I got the kimchi, from like Costco, like the big version of it.
Yeah.
But do I eat it every day? No.
I know. I'm terrible at it. And I have the good spicy one. Like, I love it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I go through phases though. And so I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Or sometimes it doesn't sound good. So I like that between the kimchi and the sauerkraut and the
yogurt,
like it kind of balances out, but I do need to be more specific, more intentional about adding it on a daily basis. That's hard to add it on a daily basis.
Every day.
Yeah,
and I'm learning getting 30 grams of fiber in a day can be tricky as well, because that's been a big focus for me, actually, even before we did all this research. So this is all just motivating me more, really.
But you want more than 30 grams of fiber. 30 grams of fiber. I was thinking protein, but you said fiber.
Protein's like, wait, I need like 140
I know.
Of protein
that's why I was like, I think you're going to need more than that, but I digress. So you needed 30 grams of fiber a day.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Crazy? Yeah. But you know what it is? If you have that chia pudding, if you do that, then you'll get your fiber in like that. That will keep you regular.
My sister-in-law just sent me like a protein chia seed pudding recipe, and I'm super excited to try it because it'll be high in protein and high in fiber. So I'm very excited.
Felisa got me started on that, and I love it. And then when Clover was here visiting and over like Thanksgiving, then I made it for her, and then she just texted me yesterday and said, "Can I have the recipe?"
Ooh. Okay, send me the recipe too, because I am collecting those recipes right now.
It's an easy game changer, right? Like it's easy. Yeah. I'm trying to get Zara on it. Like it's an easy thing to eat, and it kind of makes you feel like a dessert, especially if you put like cinnamon in it and different things. So it makes you feel like it's a dessert when it's really
is also anti-inflammatory with the cinnamon, right? So or ginger, Anyway, continue. We gotta stay
so our third myth is detox teas burn fat and cleanse you. And this is super popular. There's all different types of teas and juices and cleanse. It's crazy. So if you drink this tea, you're like, it will shed pounds and it'll purify your system and all this stuff. That is not true. Most detox teas are just laxatives or diuretics in disguise. And so they just cause water weight loss, not fat loss, and can dehydrate you and disrupt your electrolytes, which hits women harder due to hormonal sensitivity. And long-term use might even stress your kidneys. So that is, again, kind of like the charcoal one, where it's like it almost damages you more than helps you.
Yes.
So instead, the health hack would really be to focus on your hydration, which has been our downfall of 2025.
It's a challenge.
Challenging ourselves to drink more. But if we really did hydrate regularly, 80 to 100 ounces of water daily with some mineral sea salt pinch in there for electrolytes, that would be more helpful. And if you are going to drink a tea, like dandelion root is like known for gently supporting liver function to detox.
Yep.
But overall, most of the teas are not as functional as the labels say.
Yeah, that is just like an herbal tea, right? Like dandelion root tea is literally just a gentle support of your body's functions versus like, this is going to flush the toxins out of your system. Like that's not a real thing.
Overnight.
People. Yeah. Yeah. Really, you're just going to dehydrate yourself and poop a lot and lose all the water weight and feel great. But
And then I'll come back next week.
and then you'll be more stressed out because you're dehydrated and you feel terrible.
Yeah, you'll have higher cortisol and you'll feel more stressed out, and your hormones
Which
will be out of
interrupts
whack.
your processes. I mean, if you haven't gotten the gist of what we're getting to, is your body already has detox methods. We don't there's no miracle pill or drink or things that does that for you. And it is not required because your liver, your kidneys, your gut, and your skin are already built to do that for you. So what you really want to be doing is supporting those functions.
Yes.
I gave away the ending. I'm sorry, guys. But I did think that it was interesting that dandelion root supports liver function because mom drinks that a lot. So I always have it here for when she comes to visit. And lately I've been drinking it. So that actually makes me really happy.
I have never bought it. So, but now it makes me want to.
Yeah, I got one that's
Does
like
it taste
dandelion
like
root
licorice?
tea, but it's
Black licorice? Does it taste like black licorice?
It's really hard to tell because the one that I got has some other herbs in it that make it taste almost like a coffee roast, like a gentle coffee. And so I very much enjoy it. It's like hot cocoa meets coffee, but it's all healthy things and there's no caffeine. Actually, you would probably love it. I should send you some.
You're literally talking my love language right now. I really think you should.
God,
share
how did I
with
not
me.
think of that sooner?
I know. I was like, oh, I love all of this.
Yeah, I'll send you some and then we'll talk about it. To be continued, guys.
We're on this biohacking journey together. Let's just explore everything.
Yes. Which leads us to myth number 4, which is that you need a detox in order to, quote unquote, start fresh. Basically, your body's a toxic waste dump unless you manually cleanse it regularly. And we know that this is not true. Like I just said, your body is detoxing 24/7 via your liver, kidneys, lungs, and skin. And so, did I say lungs? I think I said gut. So there's 5.
Yep.
Liver, kidneys, gut, lungs, and skin. That's a lot of organs within your body that are actively 24/7 detoxifying. And for women, restrictive cleanses can actually lower your metabolism or trigger binge eating, which is the opposite of what you want, especially during high stress phases like the luteal phase of your cycle. So it's kind of just something that in the end, a lot of these fads are doing more harm than they're doing good. And they're certainly not doing what they say they're doing.
I definitely think that was our big takeaway for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And so instead, optimize your body's natural detox with sleep and movement. Let's see, a sleep study in 2021 shows that 7 to 8 hours of quality quality sleep. Sorry. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep boosts liver detox enzymes. While a 2019 study found 30 minutes of moderate exercise, like brisk walking, right, enhances lymphatic drainage. So basically, if you did like a nightly wind down routine to get a good night's sleep and then get a morning walk the next morning, right, you're going to just supercharge your system.
And it's so simple. Now, all of these hacks are really simple, and it's just going back to the basics. Eat whole foods, and really get good sleep, stay hydrated, stay away from screens.
Yep. I mean, I really feel like a big part of detoxing is avoidance. Avoid the toxins, first of all, that you're being exposed to. The more you can avoid, the less your body needs to process, right? And the thing for women specifically is we face very unique challenges to detoxing because of our hormone fluctuations. Yeah. So throughout our phase, when estrogen peaks, which is the end of the follicular phase, getting into ovulation, right? Then your body has to then flush estrogen like a toxin. And so there's a whole process where it just has to manage the hormone cycle. And so when you introduce things like endocrine disruptors, we are exposed to so much more in makeup products, skincare products, or like BPA in plastics, right? All of these things can mimic estrogen. They can mess with your cycle. There's so many things that we get exposed to more than like men typically do, right?
Yeah, we're more sensitive to it for sure. That's why I think it was interesting, going back to what you're saying, the cycle syncing. You have been really big on the cycle syncing for various things, right? Whether it's workout, all these different things. Even when you're fasting, you're very much more in tune to that than I have ever been. And so that fascinated me. And so I took the cycle syncing with the nutrition for a detox. So we actually created a guide that if you wanted to do a detox, like pretty much what we're talking about, but in a healthy way around your cycles, we created that. And so it is going to be in our show notes. And so you can you can get that. But it is based on that. Like you, every week of your cycle, you do and eat different things to help support that phase that you're in. So that's interesting to me, because if you really know your body, you can really be a true powerhouse for yourself and make it run more effectively.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Because I think when I first learned about the concept of cycle syncing, I was like, I can't, are you kidding me? How do I operate on a 28-day cycle? I'm just bummed that I have to have a period. I don't want to pay attention to what I'm eating based on my cycle, right? Or the way I exercise. All of it just seemed like too much. But over time, I was like, okay, just take the simplest truths and just try to incorporate them and see if it helps, right? And so the idea with cycle syncing your nutrition, overall, to support your body in its own detoxification process, you want to eat really as many whole foods as you can, right? Especially cruciferous vegetables. But when we're talking about cycle syncing, just a quick overview, it's really in your follicular phase, which is days 1 through 14, you want to load up on leafy greens and berries to support your liver detox. Versus your luteal phase, which is days 15 to 28, the second half, you want to add magnesium-rich foods like almonds, dark chocolate, spinach, that sort of stuff. And what that does, just for reference, is you need more magnesium, right? Because absorbing magnesium is more challenging during that phase, but also it can ease PMS and reduce inflammation.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And that's something very new to me. I've never focused on that or learned about it or even tried to experiment with that. And so I'm excited to try it out, or I've been trying it out, I should say. So it's interesting. I've got a couple new recipes from it and I'm excited.
I actually have been already doing in the luteal phase, the more magnesium rich foods, because of my well-documented magnesium deficiency. So, and I eat berries all the time because I'm obsessed with them, but I am going to be more cognizant of it after doing this research for sure. So the next thing to do would be to stress less, which I think is hilarious that anytime somebody's like, stress less, I'm like, okay, duh. Thanks, Jerry. Let me just be less stressed. But what we actually do mean is we did a whole episode on this. So if you haven't listened to it yet, go back and listen to our signs of chronic stress episode, because we do talk about seriously the effects of chronic stress, and that cortisol spike really can do a lot of damage in your body. And that does include slowing detox pathways. So seriously, the things that we talked about, deep breathing, circadian rhythm, grounding, there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of manage your cortisol. What's the word? I wanted to say roller coaster, your cortisol roller coaster. Just the flow, your natural rhythm.
It makes it more balanced. And so you're capable to handle stressors when they come your way.
Yeah, because you want your cortisol, but you don't want it to be too high. So to keep it from spiking too high, there's things that you can do, and that will actually help your body process and detox better.
Yes, I agree. Another way we could do it is to avoid toxin overload. So this has been huge. I think Felisa had me do this a couple of years ago. She was very anti-plastics, and so she trained
No, it was you. You were the one that got me off of it.
No, I know, but Felisa's the one, our other sister, is the one who got me started. It's a domino effect. Oh my God. And so she started explaining to me all the damage to plastics, especially when we cook in it, and then we store our food in plastics, and then everything in our life is in plastics. And then it's changing our kids' DNA, because it's all a disruptor, and then it's basically changing our society.
Well, and over everything a lifetime of your hormones being artificially changed, that has effects on your body, right? And the instances of cancer, it's crazy, the stuff that they're finding with plastics.
And even in our waters with our fish, it is, we could literally go down that rabbit hole a million times. So basically, to avoid toxin overload, you want to switch out all of your plastic containers for glass, and your beauty products, what you had mentioned earlier, clean beauty products, to reduce chemical load and lotions and stuff, because that's all loaded with stuff. Especially, we're going to go in the next week or two, we're going to talk about beauty products. So I don't really want to go too much into that, but that is a whole crazy thing all by itself that I was very unaware of. And I'm kind of depressed about it because I really do like ignorance is bliss. And so I'm like, oh man, now I can't,
what
use
you know,
this.
you know.
Yeah, what you know, because you know it's not good for you. And it's the last thing you need. And as all these micro poisonings build up and toxins build up, then it's not necessarily one, it's a little bit here and a little bit here, and it's a little bit of this lotion, and it's a little bit,
I know.
Just a whole bunch of little things, and it's crazy. Yep. So that's a good place to start, is to swap all of your plastics out for glass and make sure that anything you cook in is not plastic, even if it says it's BPA free.
I really did this over time because like we talked about it years ago. So over years, it's just whenever I'm replacing something, I replaced it with stainless steel or glass, right?
Or wood, yeah.
Or wood, yeah, like bamboo and stuff like that. And it took me several years to do it because it just wasn't financially feasible to just let me just get rid of all this stuff and just buy a whole new life, you know? So,
well, and we're from a large family, and you didn't have time or money to do that. So it's like,
yeah, this was for sure. Like when I was buying new pans, I was like, this is an investment. I do love my pans, by the way, though. Those were a birthday present for me, and they are awesome. So it is very true. Okay, so the next thing would be, we talked about already, hydrate and get that fiber in, because both of those things, the hydration supports kidney filtration, right? And your urine excretes water-soluble toxins and hormones, so that's important. And then daily bowel movements with the fiber removes estrogen and prevents recirculation that can contribute to hormone imbalances. So I didn't know that. That was interesting.
Yeah, I think that cannot be stressed enough, is that you need to be having a bowel movement daily.
Yes.
To really have a healthy detoxing system.
Yeah, because reabsorption and then it just gets your whole system out of whack. So stay regular. Drink your water.
And a thing that comes up over and over again, which is so ironic, I feel like, is so easy, but yet it's so hard because we fill our lives, especially as busy moms and careers and, I don't even know what fills our time, but everything in our life, I feel like, is very busy. But sleep, we have to optimize our sleep, because that's literally the crucial time where you get to recover and rejuvenate. And so that's actually the fountain of youth, is to just make sure you're getting your sleep, and so you can really rejuvenate yourself. It helps your liver detox, peak hours during your sleep, try to get 7 to 9 hours every night. You can do stress reduction to help you sleep better, like meditation and yoga. That helps lower your cortisol, which will help you sleep better through the night, so your brain isn't going crazy. Because all of that will disrupt your detox enzymes. So you want to make sure that you get all of that. You want sleep and rest daily. So you got to build routines around that.
That's a hard one, I feel like, for sure. I feel like sleep has been tricky for me this year. Turns out I was very anemic. So yeah, that was good to know. It just happened all of a sudden, and I was not sleeping. Remember I was talking about it? And then I started an iron supplement, and I'm sleeping better. But those weeks where I couldn't sleep because of restless sleep, restless legs, I really felt the difference between when I could get a quality night's sleep and when I couldn't. I was like a different person. So I can attest personally to how important this one is.
Well, not only, your body recovering, but I feel like I can handle the next day's stress so much better if I have a good night's sleep, because then it rolls off of me more like, oh, that's okay, we'll fix it, or whatever happens, right? Whereas if I'm sleep deprived, then the slightest things trigger me the next day.
And it's a lack of REM sleep. Your REM sleep helps you with your emotional capacity. It's a real thing. It's fascinating. We'll probably talk about sleep at some point. So the last one is to incorporate regular movement and sweating. The process of sweating is how a lot of times your body is shedding these heavy metals and things like that, right? So exercise enhances your circulation, your lymph flow, and then the sweating excretes the heavy metals and toxins via your skin. So a great way to do this, obviously exercise. Also the sauna or a hot bath where you're inducing sweat. Studies have shown that they really aid in the removal, the trace metal removal, and also supports hormone clearance. So that's huge too. That's indirectly, of course, by reducing stress and inflammation, but that is a can be a huge way that you aid your body in the detoxification process. Long story short, the sauna is huge. That is one of the most time-tested things, which is why I'm so passionate about it, especially if you take it's called liposomal glutathione. It's a supplement that you can take that actually like helps your body's liver process. And if you take it before you get in the sauna, those two combined have shown promising results in studies.
And as just a side note, the Korean body scrub, like, you know how that's very popular, where their whole culture is that like you go in regularly and you do a scrub on your body and you like just lift off all the detox out of your skin. So I think that's very therapeutic as well in the detox process. And they do it culturally, but there's science behind it that shows how that does help with the detox. So there's many different ways that between sweating, the sauna, exercising, and then actually just, I'm going to say sloughing. Is it sloughing your skin off?
You're like, it's exfoliating, right? Like you're helping the skin turnover. Like you want your skin, the peak skin health is going to be peak, detoxification, right? Like we're helping that along. That makes sense. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So these are all ways that like really in real life, the science backs these things. This is how you support your body in detoxing. And again, it's doing it all the time. So let's recap here. Your detox is built in. It's a detox machine. So you have to support it with whole foods, with hydration, with sleep, not fads, right? Exercise, sweating, all the things we talked about.
And women are unique. So cycle sync your nutrition and reduce stress to optimize your detox pathways. That's huge.
Yep. And remember, myths waste time and money. Skip the cleanses, skip the charcoal and teas, and just focus on the sustainable habits.
And the small ones that you can really, just what you say, sustain, like daily vegetables, drinking water, getting your sleep in there. Movement is free. Get out and go for a walk. They're all very small hacks, but can make a huge difference on daily detoxing.
Absolutely. And you are in charge. So experiment, track, own your own wellness journey, and just make one smart choice at a time. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Just do one smart choice at a time.
And they're all very simple. I feel like the detox is very, very simple. And so I think we overcomplicate it with the media and the sales pitches and all the stuff, but it's really simple. And we just have to go back to the basics, which a lot of the health things that we are discovering is really just go back to the basics.
So much of it is. It's surprising. I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. What are we going to find? Where's the magic pill? And then I'm like, oh, dang it. There isn't one.
It's just back to the basics.
Just back to the basics.
So don't forget, ladies, our mission is to help all women really understand and know your body, one biohack at a time. So our family has had a lot of curveballs, and because of that, it has pushed us to dive deeper into this journey. And we have learned so much. We're continuing to learn even more. Mm-hmm. And so we want to share it with as many women as possible, because I feel like we're all kind of going through this together and we're all one big family. So join our family on this health journey. And if this episode sparks a light or a light bulb moment or connects with you in some way, or it might connect with somebody you know, like a mom or sister, make sure you like and share, because the more we can do that, it will spread. And we want as many women, moms and sisters and grandmas and aunts and all of that to go on this journey with us and help us understand it more.
Absolutely. We're all in it together, learning as we go. Again, you can join our Facebook group, My Wellness Rewired. And until next time, just keep hacking your wellness.
We're here to share wisdom and make people laugh.
Like this. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Otherwise, we're wasting our time here. I'll run it a second time when I fix my microphone. So let's hope. All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up. Let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.